The Liberty will wrap up their three-game West Coast road trip tonight in the Emerald City as they battle the storm. New York is coming off a rough loss to the Sparks on Wednesday. So let's preview tonight's game with the great women's basketball insider and host of In Case You Missed It with Khristina Williams. That is Khristina Williams, who joins me now. Khristina, what's going on?
Hey, Dex, what's up? I'm super excited for this game tonight, but also for that three-day weekend that I'm about to get. So I'm excited.
You should be excited. It is a holiday weekend, and hopefully getting some rest, a little break from the basketball. We got some basketball to talk about first. And, Khristina, not a good performance by the Liberty on Wednesday night. They fell to the team with the worst record in the W. What went wrong for New York in that game, and do you have any concerns with the team's performance in L.A.?
Listen, Dex, I think that even the best teams, they have off days, and I think that that was just an off day for the New York Liberty. I mean, obviously, they're just coming back from break and still kind of getting acquainted with one another and trying to carry that momentum from the first half of the season. But one of their best players was out in Jonquel Jones, and I think that whenever you have a key piece missing, it's going to throw everything off. She's a huge part of the New York Liberty and their success this season because of her size and athleticism, but also because of her impact on both sides of the floor and what she can do defensively and how she can rebound for the New York Liberty. So I definitely think that was felt. But then you had Brianna Stewart, who stepped up in that last game against the Sparks with 32 points off 11 for 19 shooting. I think that for this Liberty team, it's just a loss that they can take and learn from, and just continue to build their momentum from there. But I don't think that it's something to be of concern of. They're still the #1 team in the league right now, and they're still playing like a championship.
All right, just a bump in the road, no major concerns. Teams will have an off night. You see it with the Liberty. Khristina, you mentioned, #1 team in the W with a record of 26-6. With that record being said, starting with Friday's game in Seattle, the Liberty, they have 8 games left in the regular season. So are there any things that this team needs to clean up so they are peaking as they approach the postseason?
Well, I think that one of the things that I was looking at with this Liberty team is their turnovers. They've had 35 turnovers over their last 2 games. But if you look at that game against the Sparks, they had 20 turnovers, which converted to 29 points. And so I think that one thing that they can adjust or get better at is just taking care of the ball. They ranked 9th across the whole season, ahead of the Sparks, Mystics, and Wings in terms of turnovers, when you look at that average of 15 turnovers per game for the New York Liberty. So I think that's definitely something that they can get better at, because you don't want to lose possessions in basketball. It's about scoring, and it's a game of runs. And so I think that if they clean that up and just take care of the ball, then they'll be, that unstoppable team. I think it's just the little things for this New York Liberty team. But I'm excited for this matchup against the Seattle Storm. I think that these 2 teams are the best defensive teams in the league, especially if you look at the standings and stats in terms of where they rank defensively across the entire league. So I think that this is going to be a matchup that's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. 2 of the best teams in the W going head-to-head on Friday night. Before we get to that matchup, Nyara Sabally, she's been a bright spot recently for the team, posted a double-double in L.A. with Jonquel Jones out, as you mentioned before. J.J. is listed as questionable for Friday night's game. So how valuable are these minutes at center for Sabally at this point in the season, especially if J.J. can't go?
Yeah, I mean, if J.J. can't go, I think it's a question of whether Nyara will start or Kennedy Burke. I think that the bench mob, that the Liberty call them the bench mob, for the Liberty this season has just been super impressive across the board. But when you look at Nyara Sabally and her progression from her first season with the Liberty to now, I think that she's just been persistent. There's a mutual trust between her teammates, and her coach. Obviously, the shoes of Jonquel Jones will be huge to fill if she's not ready to go tonight. But I think that what I love about Nyara's game is that she gives them depth off the bench, but she also can set the tone with her aggression, her physical style of play that the Liberty needs. I feel like they needed dogs, and Nyara is just one of those people who just steps up. You can tell that she's much more comfortable this season in the New York Liberty lineup, but the team as a whole is playing more fluidly. At the beginning of the season, Brianna Stewart talked about how some of the positions within the roster were interchangeable, and I think that you see that with Nyara Sabally stepping up if JJ can't go. There's also a chance that, not also a chance, but you can just tell her she's comfortable. So I'm excited to see how she plays for the Liberty. I think that defensively, she's been making a huge impact, especially with her ability to switch off onto guards. Again, defense is going to win this game tonight between the Liberty and the Seattle Storm. And so I think that Niara will be huge on that side of the ball.
I like this, Khristina. We got another C word from you, comfortable. Comfortability. You're definitely seeing that with Niara Sabally. For those who don't know, we've had chemistry, continuity, now comfortability. It's been all in what we've talked about with the Liberty.
A little running joke.
Yeah, it's a running theme in videos with myself and Khristina and the great Miles Ehrlich, who joins us as well, too. All right, so, Khristina, Liberty versus Storm in Seattle on Friday night. What are the keys to the Liberty bouncing back, getting a win, and closing out this road trip with a W?
Yeah, so again, it's going to be that turnover stat. The Liberty averages about 15 turnovers a game, and we saw last game against the Sparks, they had 20 turnovers. So I think that just taking care of the ball is going to be that number one stat. But also their transition and perimeter defense. We know that Seattle likes to get out and push the pace, but also on both sides, on both teams, the Liberty ranks first in three-pointers made. But also when you look at Seattle, Key Lloyd is averaging close to 2 3-points made per game. So I think that the transition defense and the perimeter defense is going to be key, just slowing down both offenses. But if the Liberty want to be successful, they just have to set the tone early on the defensive end, turn defense into offense. And then again, I'm going to look at defense without fouling. The Liberty allows 15 free throws per game, which is the best in the league. And when they played Seattle earlier in the season, Seattle had 14 free throw attempts. And so I think that that's just going to be the key to winning this game, trying to play defense without fouling, controlling the pace of the game in transition, blocking up the perimeter, and then taking care of the ball with the turnovers. And also just moving the ball and playing their pace. They have to stay poised against the Seattle team, who has a very great defensive lineup. And then you think about how they added Gabby Williams into the mix. The Liberty's going to be challenged, but I think that they'll step up to that challenge and do what needs to be done tonight.
All right, we will see big challenge for the Liberty as they try to improve on their WNBA best 26-6 record with 8 games left to go in the season. That is the great Khristina Williams. Check out her really dope new podcast, in case you missed it, with Khristina Williams. It is a really good one, talking about everything, news and notes around the W. Khristina, always good to see you. It's been a while. Enjoy the Labor Day weekend.
Thank you. I'll be on the beach somewhere, but I'll be watching the game tonight, so excited for that.
All right, there you go. Enjoy.